Hill Country Network, and this is Cindy Incidentally. Today I'm in New Albany with Michael James, who does a great job in refurbishing and rebuilding old vintage campers. And I'm going to let him tell you about what he does and a little about his background and how he came to do this. So, Michael, how long have you been refurbishing campers?
Well, I've been at this shop for 3 years. The old vintage camper came about. People brought them to me to have them fixed. They couldn't really find anywhere else. Dealerships don't work on vintage campers like this. I didn't really know that I was going to like it as much as I have until I started building them for people. As soon as you completely tear one down and restore it, your confidence builds in them, and I really enjoyed doing it. And then, I put out ads to find old vintage campers, and I have a few now that I love them. I really enjoy them, and people enjoy them. You take a small 12, 16-foot camper, which isn't, you buy a new one, it's 20, 26 foot. You can actually haul these campers with your SUV instead of owning a big truck and having, that kind of thing to deal with.
So many people love the vintage look, and from everything from clothing to campers. And so it's a great opportunity for people to know that they can get vintage campers too, taking something old and making something new out of it. And I suppose that it would be really hard to find parts to old campers. I mean, I know it's, when you have an old car or something, it's, you have to go through a series of things sometimes trying to find a replacement part. And I assume that it's the same thing for campers. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Not all the old vintage campers that I buy I'm going to restore. A lot of the ones that I do restore are the desired ones. I have a 50s Hobbyville, which is a canned ham, which is one of the most desired canned hams of all. I'll buy 25, 26 foot 70s campers. I need the windows, I need the doors, I need the old school oven. They even have, which you're not going to find nowadays, is a stovetop with an oven up top. I mean, the things people don't see is what they want in their campers.
Yeah, I bet. And what is a canned ham?
Canned ham looks like a canned ham.
Okay.
It's
I know. I know
it's pretty much just rounded all the way around.
Well, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you were in Afghanistan for a while, and thank you for your service. And then what, sparked your interest in doing what you do?
We called up South Haven RV and said, "Do y'all need upholstery people?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do, definitely." So it'd be a little bit of time before my dad could go in there. So the owner of South Haven RV said, "Hey, just send your son in here, try to learn this stuff." About 4 months being into it, the owner changed his mind, didn't really want upholstery people, didn't want to go about that, and came to me and said, "Hey, you want to stay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I enjoy doing this, so I definitely want to stay." And I did about 2 years there. Then I went over to Camping World, and I did about 6 months because I wasn't really happy. So it's like, well, since I've been young and since I was 18, I was running my dad's shop, and it makes a lot more sense for me to actually own my own business than it is to work for someone else. So that was about 4.5, 5 years ago. And every day is a different thing. I mean, one day you're working on electrical, one day you're working on plumbing, one day you're putting a roof on. Next day you might be trying to find some time to restore an old vintage camper.
Tell us a little bit about the ice cream truck that you've done.
Definitely.
Tell us about that.
Her name's Becca. She's out of Oxford. She bought an old vintage camper, and she had this, and she wanted to turn it into an ice cream food truck. She paid a little bit for it and then brought it to me and said, "Hey, I want to turn this into an ice cream food truck." And we got into it. There was rotten walls, rotten framing, and not to break the bad news to her, I was like, "Hey, we got to go all the way through with this thing." So we did, and that was my first complete rebuild. That's the one that really built my confidence. That's the one that I really fell in love with these things. I love how they're built. I would much rather sit there and build an electrical system and build a plumbing system and reframe a camper. I do enjoy working on newer campers, but the quality of newer campers is not the same as the quality of an older camper. I have old campers out here from the 50s. You try to take a new camper, look at it in 20 years, it might not even be here. The quality's not there. People actually, they came out and they designed them, and they just like, "Hey, I really want to make this one. I really want to make it cool." And it's just a completely different game than, new. And that's why people want them. you just take a look at an old vintage camper and it's like, man, that's really cool. You know, a lot of people don't have them, and they don't have them completely restored the way that I do them. You might buy one, someone might say, hey, it's been restored. More so they did a makeover on it. They didn't reframe it. They didn't put new floors in it. They didn't do new bearings and the wheels and things like that. But when someone comes and picks one up from me, you can take it across country. It's ready.
That's great. That's great. And hopefully a lot of people will see this. And what is the number if someone wanted to get in touch with you?
662-266-2990. We buy vintage campers. Just give me a call. I'll take a look at it. It is my passion. It is what I really like to do, and I plan on doing it for quite a long time.
I've heard other people say about campers that the old ones, there's just, you don't find them.
Mississippi, people don't throw anything away. And I'll drive up 348, I'll drive up old 78. They're on the side of the road. And I'll go up there and I'll hand them a card. You know, some people are like, I'll never get rid of it.
Want to keep it?
I get it, I do. But there are those other ones I buy them from, and they really just want them to go to a good home. They want someone to bring it back to its glory and someone actually use it.
Well, thank you for talking to me today.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to come back and see some of the progress you make on some of those campers.
Definitely.
And we will let you know. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Cindy with Hill Country Network.